Hello, hello. Welcome back to Peak Northwest, an outdoors and travel podcast by the Oregonian and Oregon Live, dedicated to the adventure and exploration of our beautiful Pacific Northwest. I'm Jamie Hale.
And I'm Chiara Profena. Together we take you to some of the most beautiful and interesting destinations in our region, discussing where to go, what to do, and places to see. And today we're after that last little bit of summertime, trying to enjoy it while it lasts.
That's right. You know, it's always a little hard to pinpoint what the end of summer is because that's different for different people. So, like, you know, for a lot of families, summer is like when you go back to school, which has already happened at this point. For some people, summer lasts only as long as that warm, sunny weather, which also, by the time this episode comes out, may be gone. But for our purposes today, we are defining the official end of summer as the astronomical end of summer, which is Sunday, September 21st. It's here. The end of summer is upon us. Chiara, how are you feeling about the end of summer right now?
It's a little bittersweet because fall is my favorite season, so
Okay.
I'm super excited about all the fall time stuff, all the orchards and pumpkin patches and corn mazes, and Halloween is my favorite holiday. So super excited for everything to come, but also, you know, I feel like I didn't get to do all the summer stuff I was hoping to do.
That's always a thing, isn't it? It's like, you know, I feel like I talk to a lot of friends who are like, oh, I wish I had done this, or I wish I had done that. There's like, you know, for no matter how much you did in the summer, and I know that you did a lot. I know I did a lot. A lot of people listening probably did a lot. There's always like this feeling of like, oh, what could I have done differently? What was that thing I missed out on? And the time seems fleeting because all of a sudden the weather turns gray and rainy and chilly, and you can't do a lot of that stuff.
Exactly. I mean, today was the first day I scootered to work, and I was like a little bit cold. And I was like, ooh,
yep.
I'm going to have to like start wearing my scarf.
Oh, so soon. It's just September.
I know. I guess I get kind of cold easily, so.
Boy. Well, so today we have some last gasp summer activities, some things to make sure you do here in your last weekend of summer. We've got some good ones, I think. And all of this, of course, is like weather depending. We don't know what the weather is when we're recording this. So if it's like super gray and rainy, maybe just like pretend that it's still sunny and warm, or just wait for that like one, like, you know, fall day that's especially hot and then go out and pretend like it's summer.
It's a good tip there.
You know, just we can pretend here. But I feel like when I think about the things you do in the summer that you really want to make sure you get a chance to do, the number one thing is hang out by a river.
Right. Definitely. I actually did this like last weekend.
Amazing.
I went to the Tualatin River and got paddle boards, and it was still really nice and warm out. It was like one of the last little sunny days we had here. Definitely recommend. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we live in such a river place. I mean, of course, Portland is on the Columbia and the Willamette rivers, but you also have the Tualatin River, the Sandy River. You have just so many river access points and so many beaches. I mean, so whether it's like Sauvie Island, which gets crowded in the summer, actually like late summer, early fall is a great time to do Sauvie Island. The beaches, Rooster Rock is one of the most beautiful river beaches we have, if you're okay with a little bit of nudity, or if that's a selling point to you. Regardless, that Rooster Rock is such a really great spot. The Washougal River across the way, people love that area. And I feel like whether you're swimming, you know, like we talked about in an earlier episode this summer, or you're paddle boarding, or you're just like me, you just love sitting by the water, you know, maybe in a dappled shade situation. That's it. Just like, that's like quintessential Oregon summer, I feel like.
And sitting by the water, you can do that pretty far into fall.
Yeah, just, you know, you get your scarf and you get your flannel.
You can always sit by a river.
Sure.
In any weather, truly. You just have to be able to bear it.
Yeah, you just can't really sit by a river in, like, you know, your bathing suit.
Right.
Soaking in the sun, necessarily.
So, do you have a favorite river to sit by?
I mean, I love Rooster Rock. I love Oxbow Park. The Sandy River, I think, is kind of where I go to.
Okay.
You know, there's a couple good spots on Sauvie Island I just kind of avoid in the summertime because, like, that one lane road that goes into it, it's just like it gets too crazy out there in the weekend. So I pretty much avoid Sauvie Island this time of year. But, I mean, there's just so many good spots. So if one spot's crowded, go to the other spot. I think it's really easy. But for me, I think the Sandy River, the big draw there is leads us into the number 2 thing here on my list, which is get a sundae at Sugarpine. Have you done this, Kiara? You're shaking your head no. Okay.
I have not. I've heard so much about it too. And it was on like my list of things to do at a certain point, and now it's just kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
But you're reigniting this desire.
I'm not disappointed. I'm excited for the day when you do try a sundae at Sugarpine.
Fair.
It's just like it being there on the Sandy River, like literally right next to a river beach, is just like that 1-2 combination is so good. Something you can do is just go down there to the beach there and hang out in the morning, get a good parking spot, hang out on the beach until you get around lunchtime, go get lunch and a sundae, go back to the beach. These are like, it's just such a perfect spot to go. The line is always long, but it moves fast. You know what I mean? It's just like such a perfect spot. And if you don't get to Sugarpine, you can always, of course, enjoy any of Portland's amazing ice cream that we featured in the Oregonian earlier this summer.
The ice cream corridor?
There's the ice cream corridor on Division where you have, Panolo Gelato. You've got, of course, your salt and straw. You've got cornet custard. Just like spot after spot. Evan Bean frozen yogurt. There's just like people like Cloud City. There's so many good ice cream spots. Like, I mean, I feel like personally, ice cream is a year-round treat.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm eating ice cream in January, February, but like it's also like such a summertime treat. So I feel like there's like if you really do one thing to make you feel like, oh, you know what, it's still summer, go get some ice cream.
Definitely.
Find a patch of sunshine, eat some ice cream. That's the least you can do.
So at Sugarpine, what kind of sundaes are they?
Oh, I mean, it rotates.
Like any kind?
I mean, I always go for their seasonal.
Okay.
And it's always crazy. They had a Pog sundae last time I was there, passion fruit orange guava.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
And so it was like orange magic shell, and I don't remember what like these little pieces of topping, some sort of passion fruit situation. And I want to say, no, it was some sort of guava situation, and there's like a passion fruit like whipped topping on top. It was crazy. It was great though.
Dang, I'm sad I missed it.
I mean, yeah, they probably have something else good out there.
Might still be there. Could have something better.
In the fall, they often will do one with little fake mushrooms made out of like mascarpone. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
That sounds semi-right.
They do all kinds of great stuff at Sugarpine.
So what do we have next on this list?
Okay, so we've talked about the rivers. Summertime is also time for the mountains here in the Northwest. The snow melts. It gives you access to these higher elevation trails, and summertime is the time you have to go hike them. So I feel like, you got to get up there now before the snow returns, before it gets too cold, before these trails get muddy or snowy or icy. You've got to get up in the mountains.
Right. And it doesn't snow up in the mountains until, do you know about when?
It really depends. I mean, once you start getting into like late October.
Okay. But you've got a little bit of time then.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of time depending on how high up you want to go.
Like late summer, early fall activity here.
If you want to go do some of those like glacier trails, now's your time to do it. End of September, beginning of October, I feel like is the last time. These lower elevation trails though, stuff that's kind of like on the foothills of Mount Hood, where you get a nice view of the mountain and some fall color. Those you can do later into October, even beginning of November sometimes. But like, you think about like when ski season starts around Thanksgiving, so like that's kind of a good barometer. There's enough snow to ski often, not always, by Thanksgiving. So you want to get up there way ahead of that.
Gotcha. Any like specific hike recommendations?
Oh boy. I mean, there's so many. McNeil Point, we've talked about that a bunch. On Mount Hood is just an all-timer. Just so many good views of the mountain. You really get high up there too. That's one where you get like, just it takes you like right up against the mountain. And that's one that you have to do sort of this time of year. Or else you're just gonna, I guess what I'm saying is the window for that is short. So you've got to get up there.
And then also in that same general area, backpacking. Can you do that up there?
You can definitely do backpacking up there. Oh my God. I mean, so the next thing on this list is like to just take that backpacking trip you've been meaning to do. You know, the one that you're like in the back of your head, you're like, I got to do that one someday. I keep wanting to do the Timberline Trail if I have like 3 or 4 days to do it, which I feel like I never do. So that's tough. But if you have some time, you know, if your only excuse is like, you know, oh, well, I haven't really figured it out, just do it. Do it now. Schedule it. You've got a little bit of time. It doesn't have to be up in the mountains, right? I mean, the mountains are a great spot to go backpacking. Whether it's Three Sisters, Mount Adams, Mount Hood, a lot of good places. But there's a lot of good trails at lower elevations. The Rogue River Trail is a great backpacking destination. You know, you can even go backpacking out on the Salmon River on Mount Hood. A lot of places you can go out and just do a quick backpack. And that, to me, that there's something summer about backpacking, right? Because you can do that certainly in the wet season, but
it's not as fun, I would imagine.
No, I've done it. I've done some fall backpacking, and it's just very damp is the thing. It's very dark and damp. So it's
not as exciting.
A lot of like hibernating, you know.
The way you phrase this, like that backpacking trip you've been meaning to take, makes me wonder if I should have one in my back pocket.
You're fresh enough here that I feel like you get a pass.
Okay.
But like that is something I feel like people just accumulate in the back of their minds.
It'll come to me when it's ready.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You don't need to seek it out. It'll just come to you.
Okay.
As we're sort of talking about like getting out there, I feel like for a lot of folks, myself included, summertime is like the coast. I mean, also like wintertime is the coast, but summertime is like, you know, you got the taffy, you got the ice cream cones, you got the sunshine. Everyone's out there. You're on the beach. You don't have shoes on, and you're like not going hypothermic because of it. It's just like you just make it out to the coast. A day trip at least. Get out there.
Definitely. I was just there. Can agree with this statement.
Same.
Go to the coast.
Go to the coast. Yeah. When were you just there?
I was just there for the Hood to Coast.
Right, with your family. Right? You ran to the coast.
I ran to the coast.
Crazy, but good for you.
It was a good time.
Yeah. I was just out doing some whale watching in Depot Bay.
See, there's a variety of things you can do out there. You can run to the coast. You can whale watch at the coast.
Yeah, exactly. There's more things, certainly, but we don't need to get into all of them. But there's a lot of things you can do at the coast. One of the things I feel like that is like summertime at the coast especially, or at least like nice weather season at the coast, is stopping by my favorite outside fish and chip spot, which is Riverside Fish and Chips in Nehalem. It's in a food cart. It's on a little branch of the Nehalem River. They have like, it's like full sun. They have like umbrellas at the tables, little chairs by the water you can sit out. And the fish and chips there is good. It's legit. It is absolutely worth going to. Check it out. It's right next to a really good ice cream spot. It's right next to a really good vintage store. There's pinball a couple doors down, if that's your thing. Nehalem, we'll talk more about Nehalem, I think, probably next summer. But like, it's just a really good town to hang out in. And especially this fish and chip spot in the sun. To me, that's like a new go-to summer coast thing.
Sounds like a good afternoon itinerary. Fish and chips, ice cream, pinball. Shopping. You've got your whole day planned out.
Pinball feels it's such an indoor activity. I feel like, I don't know, like I remember being in there and it was so dark and I came out and I was like, I mean, I'm like wincing in the light and I was like, maybe I should just come back in the winter when like it's not so nice outside.
Well, maybe like a short pinball break if the weather's not great, you know?
Totally.
If you start to get that like early fall drizzle, hop inside, do some pinball, get back out there.
That's right. Yeah, there's a mini donut cart there too.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, I could go on, but I won't because we have more things to talk about. The next thing I have on my list, go to Crater Lake. You know, I feel like this is a spot that like, I've talked to so many Oregonians, people who were born here, raised here, lived here for decades, never been to Crater Lake. It's like just a little far out there. But it's so good in the summertime. Unless you're snowshoeing, that's a time to go before it's in the mountains again. So like you want to go before the snows come. When you can drive your whole way around the lake, You can, at least for this season, hike down to the water, take a boat ride across to Wizard Island. I mean, just get out there, check it out. This is like a more ambitious last gasp summer thing, because like if you're listening to this and it's like this weekend's the last opportunity to go, which is not the last opportunity to go, but it's the last opportunity for summer, you know, like maybe a little ambitious, but I think it's just get it on your list at least.
Mm-hmm. I've actually been to Crater Lake. This is one of the only things that I've done on this list.
Aside from hanging out at the river.
Hanging out at a river, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really cool. I went in like mid-October though, and it was already like covered in snow and freezing.
Yeah.
So
that's a thing.
I think you got to get there ASAP.
People forget that it's it's on a volcano. It is a volcanic lake. It's I think one of the snowiest, if not the snowiest places in Oregon. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
You got to get there earlier in the season. This is such a good time to go. I've gone in like sort of late September, just before the snows came back, and it was like 30 degrees at night. And it was awesome.
Did you
really
swim
good.
then?
No.
Oh, you just went to vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
that's why I was like, what are you doing in the lake then?
Just like taking pictures.
Okay.
Driving around, checking out sunrise, checking out sunset, staying at the lodge, those kinds of things. There's a lot to do there. Going on hikes, a lot of really good hikes up there at Crater Lake in the park. And I don't know why people don't make it out there. It's far, I guess.
There's not a ton in the area. You kind of have to like be going to Crater Lake to do it. It's not like one of those things that I feel like you stop on the way to do.
Yeah, it's true. It's got to be your primary destination. Even then, there's not like a ton of places to stay in the park, and they're often booked up. But if you can get a spot, like a midweek, late season spot at the lodge, that's a pretty good deal. I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Sort of, I guess, in the same vein of like driving out to Crater Lake, one of my favorite summer activities is taking a road trip across Eastern Oregon. Have you done anything like this?
I've taken a road trip to Eastern Oregon.
Same difference?
Yeah.
Where to?
So I went to Joseph.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was terrifying, though. It was like, wow, it was really dumb. It was during like a snowstorm.
Oh, God.
So it was like snowing. I had places to be. And it was not a really fun trip. I would not recommend it while it's snowing.
Right.
But
The
it was
summertime.
really pretty. It was really pretty once I got there, even though it was like covered in snow. But summertime's probably a lot nicer of a time to be driving around that area.
Yeah. Eastern Oregon gets snow, and the highways sometimes can get crazy out there. If you're out there in a snowstorm or an ice storm, it's unsafe.
I thought
frankly.
I was gonna die, honestly.
Yeah, but in the summertime, the roads are dry. You maybe have some wildfire things to consider out there in Eastern Oregon, especially. But like, I love a good long road trip. And there's so many like fun, weird little stops across Eastern Oregon. The Painted Hills and stuff at the fossil beds, the Kamwachung State Park site. I mean, so many great natural attractions along the Deschutes River, along the John Day River, all the mountain stuff, weird roadside attractions out there, just all kinds of fun stuff. It's just like a great, like I'd love to spend just like a week just like bouncing around Eastern Oregon and seeing everything. I mean, I've seen it all before. I'd love to just like see it all again on one go. It's just such to me, there's something that's like so like Americana about that. So like summer family road trip about it. You know what I mean?
Just being like in the middle of nowhere. Not like a ton to do except for drive and see random stuff.
Yeah. Like,
I feel that.
I think especially like as a dad now, I imagine being like the dad with the itinerary and they're like the kids are like, like staring out the window bored out of their minds, and I'm like, we've got like 1 more hour until we hit Blue Basin. I'm like into that vibe right now. I just think that's like so charming.
It's like a great future for you that I can see.
Yeah, whenever Leona can spend more than 2 hours in a car, that's her max as a baby right now, is 2 hours. And then she's like, I'm done.
It'll only go up from there, so.
I hope so.
Only good things ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there like a town in Eastern Oregon that you should go to if you're like a first timer?
I mean, it just depends on where you're at. I mean, people go to Bend, right? Bend is
Right.
sort of like the capital of Eastern Oregon. If you want to go all the way out to Burns, there's much less to do in Burns, in the town itself. But you can go out to Steens Mountain, the Alvord Desert. That's like some big time backcountry exploring out there. That's when you're into like what they call the Oregon Outback. So it's those things that I think are really appealing. But I mean, yeah, John Day is a good town, and people like Antelope. There's all kinds of little towns out there.
Okay. Lots of options.
Yes. So there's a couple things left on our list here. One of them is something I don't do personally, but that I know a lot of people do enjoy, and that's explore a scenic bikeway.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful scenic bikeways. These roads or bike paths throughout the state take you to some incredible scenery. People like to do bike packing out there. I love it in concept. I do not love the idea of biking alongside a road personally, but I love this idea of like, yeah, you pack everything on your bike, you go out there, you camp, you bike more, you pack. Like, I think that's such a cool idea.
There's something alluring about that, even though I'm not a biking person either. I have to say, I've gotten too many bikes stolen. It's just not in the cards.
Honestly, same. I feel like I've like lost, like in my adulthood, I've had like 4 bikes. It seems like too many for someone who doesn't bike. Like it just doesn't happen. But you know, if you're into that sort of thing, I mean, there's a ton of like scenic bikeways across the state for, you know, at various levels. Like there's like the covered bridge, 35-mile loop. That seems very doable down there in the Willamette Valley. Up to some of these like, you know, challenging or extreme scenic bikeways like the Oregon Outback, like we said, biking through the desert. Seems crazy in the summertime, but you know, some of these other places I think where you have some nice weather, some good shade, sounds like just a pleasant time.
Mm-hmm. And then like building on that, I feel like as a runner, running on some of these, maybe not bikeways, but really pretty paths, nature paths, stuff that's a little more flat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Great way to like get out there and explore new places. I feel
Totally.
like running has been like that way that I find places and be out in nature now, because I am doing such long distances at this point that bikeways almost seem like a good idea to run on, you know? Especially if they're pedestrian friendly, obviously.
Totally. And I think there definitely are some, like, you know, the Banks Vernonia Trail, great long bike path. If you're a runner who runs on paved surfaces especially.
I think I ran through Vernonia during like that was my leg was through Vernonia.
It's a really long bike path, and it goes through a really nice forested area.
It was pretty, but I was doing it in the middle of the night.
Well,
so
yeah.
I need to go back is what I'm saying.
Were there any other places that you ran in the summer that you were like, this is a good recommendation? You definitely would recommend someone to go do this in the summertime?
Well, I did a lot of like forest park runs and trail runs, and I think that's going to be really pretty coming into fall as well. There's like no shortage of trail run options. Also, if you're doing like more flat stuff, I really like running along the Willamette, and not just in the downtown area, but you can take it like all the way to St. John's and up like towards Sauvie Island. I think that's really fun to do as well.
Totally.
So you can just kind of like run anywhere. So that's what I've discovered is you can run anywhere.
There's a great trail on Sauvie Island that I've hiked a lot, but I feel like it might be good in the summertime before it gets too muddy.
Yeah.
The Warrior Point Trail. Have you been up there?
No, I have not.
It's it's sort of on the northern tip of Sauvie Island, and it goes like you sort of go beyond the nude beach, and there's a little parking lot at the end of that road, and you can do this hike. It's 7 miles round trip.
Oh, that's like perfect.
That seems like a good distance?
Yeah, that is a good distance.
It's just straight up and back. There's a couple little turns to navigate, but you just stay to the river, and it runs right along the river there and under some like hawthorn trees and some beautiful scenery, and then it ends at a tiny little lighthouse, the smallest lighthouse in Oregon.
Aww.
And it's just like and there's a beach there, so you can like hang out at the beach, unless you're like in it and you got to turn around and run right back. But it's a really great spot. I mean, I love this in the fall because it's the fall color there. It's gorgeous. But if you're trying to avoid the mud, definitely get there before the rainy season.
I feel like it gets really hard to run outside once you hit like October, November.
Yeah.
But I still do it.
One more thing on our list, and this is maybe a little bit of an oddball one, but it's go caving.
Ooh.
Get into the caves. And here's the thing. Caves, great low-key summer activity. When it's hot, the caves are cool, right? We all know this about caves. They stay at pretty consistent cool temperature all the time. And Oregon has so many caves that close in the fall. Like a lot of these places will close like October to March because of the bat populations that are hibernating there. So you can really only go in sort of like spring, summer, early fall. But caves, very, very cool. There's a lot of really good ones. Skylight Cave in Central Oregon. Of course, the Oregon Caves, which I think does tours longer, maybe into November. But the Oregon Caves is a must for people who are cave curious, at least.
Cave curious.
Not everyone's into caves.
I could be cave curious.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I am.
What would it take to push you over the edge?
Like a couple hours of free time. That's all I'm hoping for at this point.
Well, the Oregon Caves is a long drive to get there, is one thing. Down like a long, windy road. It's in like one of the corners of Oregon, the southwest corner. But it's like this marble cave system. It's so old. It was one of these, I can't remember the exact geology, so excuse me if I'm getting this wrong, people who know this, but like it like was a cave system that like formed underwater and then was like forced underground and then was raised up into the mountains until an entrance formed that like people just sort of found and discovered. And it's this incredible, incredible marble cave system. And you don't have to be like a spelunker to get into it. They have lights in there. It's a national park site. They do tours. It's very easy. They do like kind of off-road, I guess, cave tours. I don't know what you call that. More challenging ones where you have to like squeeze through tight spaces. That's not for me.
That's terrifying.
Yes. The regular cave tours just require a little bit of ducking, but to see like these just like incredible marble stalactites where they're like, it take like 1,000 years for it to grow an inch. I don't know if that's the real math, but
I think it's like longer than that, honestly.
And then you see these formations that are like, 10 feet tall or something. You're like, wow, that's some like millions of years old. It's very cool. It's like the awe of time as opposed to like we're used to like seeing like big spaces or tall mountains, and that's awesome. But to be awed by like the passage of time is a whole other experience that highly recommend. As
Caves
you can tell, I'm effusive.
Yeah, pretty cool. I know I haven't been to any in Oregon, but I've been to caves. Specifically in Mexico and Texas, and always a good time. One of the things that was really cool is like, I remember one of the tour guides in Texas, I went to Carlsbad Caverns, which was pretty close to where I used to live. They took us to like this super deep part of the cave, and they were like, this is like the only place you can experience true like darkness. And it was so scary. They
terrifying.
Like turn off all the lights. You're down there alone. They left us there for like a couple seconds only, but it was like, it's really cool to just like be in this space that's so confined, very it can be scary too, but
terrifying.
It's cool. I love a good cave.
So looking at our list here of summer activities, are there any that you're going to try to get yourself out to right now? And or are there any that you're like, okay, putting the bookmark on this for next summer, got to make sure it happens so I don't have any regret at this time of year next year?
Honestly, I feel like you've almost peer pressured me into getting Sugarpine. I've been wanting to get Sugarpine for so long. This is like the last warm weather chance I have to eat ice cream, and I think that's the most doable, to be honest, for where I am in life. I'm also moving on September 21st.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
It's like I'm busy up until fall starts, basically. Like the beginning of fall will be a peaceful time for me, I hope. So I think I will deserve ice cream after moving everything in. So I feel like that's the most plausible.
I think that's good. I think that's really good. I'm looking forward to. I don't think I can do anything right now.
Yeah.
Maybe like a last minute river day. I feel like I have friends who are like ready for fall, so they're already talking about like, let's go to the Fruit Loops, go to pumpkin patches, let's do this, that, let's plan our Halloween parties. And I'm like trying to pump the brakes, and I'm like, the person in the friend group who like, it's still astronomical summer, you guys, let's still appreciate the summertime. But I feel like for next year, I really want to make sure to get in the mountains more. I didn't get into the mountains much this summer, if at all, and I really want to take advantage of that next time. There's a lot of Mount Hood hikes I want to do that I've been trying to do for like the last couple of years. That just hasn't happened. So I think I'm going to put a pin in it for next summer and really try to make it up there into those higher elevations.
That's a good one. I think I definitely want to do caving next summer.
Mm-hmm.
That one is one that is calling to me.
Okay, I got some cave recommendations for you.
You always have good recommendations.
We won't get into it here because that'd be a whole other episode. But I'll let you know off air.
Sounds good.
Well, folks, that will do it for us for today. Until next time, you can watch our videos on the Oregonians YouTube channel and view all of our travel and outdoors coverage on OregonLive.com/travel, as well as HereIsOregon.com.
Please leave us a rating or review if you enjoy the show, and if you want to support this podcast as well as our local journalism, please consider a subscription to Oregon Live. You can find details at OregonLive.com/subscribe. Also, if you're a fan of the show and you're interested in potentially sponsoring it, you can get in touch with our marketing people at advertise@Oregonian.com. This episode of the show is produced by me alongside Jamie Hale, Teresa Mahoney, and Vicky Connor.
Stay safe and happy travels, everyone. Until next time, we leave you with this 10 seconds of Zen.